Hey guys, before we get on to the heavy topic that is today's video, I just wanted to welcome you to my channel where I make K-pop commentary videos and talk about all things K-pop. I'll be discussing the latest news on what's going on in the industry, but also giving my take from the perspective of a fan. And with that said, let's get on to the video. There will be discussions of bullying, depression, death, self-harm, and suicide, so if any of those trigger you, please do not continue to watch this video. So here's a little backstory to the group. Ace of Angels, or AOA, is an 8-member group that debuted in 2012 from FNC Entertainment. Not only were they a dance group, but a band as well, and they were sort of known for alternating between the two concepts of dance and band. Though they debuted in 2012, the song that led them to gaining immense popularity and success was Miniskirt. 2 years after the release, in 2016, their drummer Yoo Kyung announced that she'll be leaving AOA as her contract ended. This was understandable as AOA was going through what ended up being a permanent shift to being a dance group, and seeing as though she was only a part of AOA Black, it would make sense that she would not resign with FNC. A year later, in June of 2017, FNC Entertainment shockingly announced that AOA's main vocalist Choa would be leaving. Though there were many rumors going around, most fans assumed that it was due to her depression and insomnia, which FNC also later confirmed. She also said that she'd expressed her wishes to leave FNC the year before, which then led to her taking a break, but since the break and medication couldn't solve this, she ended up leaving. Finally, in May of 2019, FNC Entertainment announced that Mina would be leaving AOA, stating that she did not want to renew her contract in hopes of pursuing a career in acting, or so we thought. A few days ago on July 3rd, Mina uploaded a screenshot of a hateful DM she received that basically told her that she should get lost. This unknowingly was the catalyst for the whole situation and would be the first of many posts revealing the ugly truth behind the dynamic of AOA. She replied in a lengthy caption, sadly stating that she would if she could, but she has to take care of her mom. Though I won't be reading all the captions in their entirety, I'll highlight a few key points and leave an article with the translations down below. She begins to talk about the time her dad passed away and says, "I cried once in the waiting room. One of the unnies, which can be translated to an older member in Korean, told me that I was ruining everyone's mood and told me not to cry, dragging me to the closet of the waiting room." At this moment, we still don't know who she's referring to. What is probably the most devastating part was that she said that she even tried to kill herself because of this member. Like, I hope you guys understand that this goes far beyond just simply bullying someone. She talks about her experience being an idol and actor, stating, "But I've been so happy doing it and I worked really hard. It's a job I really love. I've never felt stressed because of work. To be honest, I really didn't want to leave AOA, but because of one person who hated me, I was bullied for 10 years, and by the end, I was so angry that I wanted to curse at her just once." This truly is heartbreaking because if you didn't know, the work schedules of K-pop idols are notorious for being extreme. Rehearsals for 10-12 hours a day, strict dieting plans, and living cooped up together in small apartments. So the fact that this aspect of being an idol never really stressed her out, and she was determined to work even harder for AOA, but the reason she had to leave was because she was being bullied by her leader, is disappointing to say the least. She later mentions that the father of a member she's referring to recently passed away. This is when fans began to connect the dots, seeing as Jimin, the leader of AOA's father, also recently passed away. It was likely that the member Mina was talking about is Jimin. And it's clear that she felt conflicted on how to feel about Jimin because she knew what it was like to experience the passing of a father. She even says, "I went to the funeral hall and as soon as she saw me, she cried and apologized. I felt so empty and my heart crumbled. I felt like everything had emptied out. All my resentment disappeared and everything felt okay." So it appears that she was ready to forgive Jimin. In her second post, she explains why she brought up Jimin in the first place, and it was because when Mina's dad was diagnosed with cancer, despite knowing he was going to pass away, she was reluctant to visit him because she didn't want to be told off by Jimin again. She says, "We were making a comeback, so I didn't want to negatively affect the other members as we were promoting. I felt like I couldn't get caught up in thoughts of my dad, and I needed to do my job properly, so I couldn't visit my dad at the hospital." Essentially, her fear of being scolded and possibly having a negative impact on the group kept her from visiting her father as often as she could have. But when Jimin's father fell ill, Jimin was allegedly given access to a VIP room, and all her solo activities were cancelled. In response to this, Mina says, "You should be professional too. Don't cry, okay? You said it ruined the mood," referring to the time she said Jimin told her those very words. She goes on to write about how she will never be able to forget those memories and she currently takes medication to cope with that experience. In their last encounter, apparently Mina brought up the situation to Jimin, but from the way she describes it, Jimin was kind of upset, saying, "I don't think I'm that much of a bad person that I would say something like that." Mina then elaborates on just how much Jimin's bullying affected her, stating that not only does she take countless numbers of pills to deal with it, but the nerves in her left wrist are also damaged from harming herself, and she currently is undergoing scar treatment for them. In response to this, Jimin posted a black screen on her Instagram story with the caption "fiction" before quickly deleting it. Mina then shared yet another post responding to this, basically saying that what she shared is only a glimpse of the hardships that she went through as a result of Jimin's bullying. She mentions another instance of when she attempted suicide as well. She then says, "I've said everything I've done wrong, so should I share stories about you now? There's so many that it would be bothersome to write them all down." Her next post is one that I will not show, but is a picture of her left wrist. She captions it saying, "Fiction? This is too scary to even be called fiction. I underwent 3 to 4 rounds of scar treatment and it's become fainter." In the same caption, Mina also expresses that she has no intentions of filing a lawsuit or to take this to court, but all she wants is for Jimin to simply apologize so that she can be able to heal. After this, Mina posted another black image where she details some of the remarks Jimin made to her over the years, and some of these are calling her stuck up for going to audition. When she went on a diet, Jimin said she hated Mina's body and she wanted her to gain weight. Here's where we begin to see just how mentally deteriorating this whole situation must have been for Mina. She details yet another account of when she tried to take her life, but throughout this post, she repeatedly asked Jimin why she hated her so much, and telling her that her life was made a living hell because of this. In a follow-up post to that, she mentioned something that may or may not come as a shock to you, which is that she did eventually inform FNC Entertainment about what happened. She says, "And FNC Entertainment, I told them everything at the end. I was half out of my mind, I couldn't even open my eyes properly, and I stuttered. I hadn't fully recovered from taking hundreds of sleeping pills, but I told them it was because of Jimin, and they wouldn't listen." Reading this is devastating because it shows that the people who could have done something and intervened did not care to. On July 4th, Mina posted what is currently up as her final post, and we find out that the members went over to her house. As the members walked in, Jimin apparently came in angry, to which Mina said, "At first, Jimin came in angry, and I was in disbelief. I asked if hers is an expression of someone who's here to apologize." Whether fans would like to admit it or not, this does speak to Jimin's character, because after all of this, Jimin's initial reaction to seeing Mina in real life for the first time in over a year is an anger outburst. Mina says that Jimin, however, eventually did apologize multiple times, but Mina questions the sincerity of her apology. "I truthfully didn't see any intention from her to sincerely apologize. No matter how it turned out, I did receive an apology, and I decided to accept it." It sounds as though Mina is trying to convince herself that Jimin is apologetic, which makes sense, as she did previously explain that the apology is what she personally needs in order to get rid of the grudge that she's holding onto. Later that same day, something happened that a lot of people were not expecting. FNC Entertainment put out a short statement disclosing that Jimin would not only be leaving AOA, but the entertainment industry as a whole. Fans were not happy, to say the least. Some fans upset that their leader was leaving, others saying that this isn't enough of a punishment compared to 11 years of bullying that Mina went through. You might be thinking, what do you mean this isn't enough? She's losing her career. Well, there have been instances where idols and celebrities announce that they're leaving the entertainment industry but come back after a few years. But some fans express that they don't want Jimin to ever come back to the entertainment industry. Before I talk about what happened next, here's a tweet I found that talks about the abusive signs that Jimin showed, which are holding someone emotionally hostage, so when Jimin threatened to take her own life to make Mina feel bad, gaslighting, and empty apology bombing. Later that day, Jimin posted an apology to her Instagram, basically saying that she apologizes for not being good enough to lead, claiming that she didn't understand Mina very well. She also claims that she cried and begged and cried again at Mina's house, and essentially blames her actions on being young and thinking that AOA needed to act in a certain way in front of staff. She ends it by saying she is truly sorry to the other members and to Mina. Fans were not happy with this apology, which is understandable because most of what Jimin says contradicts the behavior that is described by Mina. For example, if she was truly sorry, why did she initially claim that what Mina was saying was fake? Perhaps she didn't expect Mina to come forward with everything. Neither did she expect the majority of people to side with Mina. She also blames her actions on being young, yet on the same day she wrote this apology, she stormed into Mina's house angrily and argued with her for allegedly apologizing. Mina then quickly responded in a now deleted post calling out Jimin's lies. She said, "Begged? What do you mean begged? I'll say what I have to say before I leave. Yesterday you said that you did that because you wished I got on the right path. A person like that brought a man into the dorm and had sex with him. You should walk on the right path yourself. At least you shouldn't lie. I know that you didn't want to apologize and hated me until the end. But what? I won't forget the look you gave me when you came in. Up until this moment, we're unsure of whether the other members were complicit in the bullying or if they were even fully aware of what was going on. But then Mina says, all the eyes and ears that were in my house, you're all the same. Shinjin and Ani is so blessed. You're lucky. They're all on your side. You won. I lost. I lost in the end." This unfortunately does shed light on the fact that the other members, or at least the ones that went to Mina's house, were aware of how she was being treated. Fans were sort of split when it came to this. Some fans were saying that it's just Jimin that is at fault here. Others were incredibly disappointed in all the members, Hyejong and Solyeon specifically, because they seemed to be the closest to Jimin. All in all, it showed that no one stood up for her. At the time that this is being recorded, FNC hasn't made another statement about this, and neither has Jimin posted a follow-up remark. However, AOA's performance at the Wonder Woman Festival has been cancelled. Fans were also digging up past videos of interactions between Jimin and former members Choa and Yukyung, looking for similar behavior patterns. A past interview clip was found where Choa was describing the relationship between the members of the group. All the members are nice and kind-hearted, but Jimin takes care of all the members younger than her. She tries to listen to each member, so she's the best leader. But following this, she nervously laughs and says, "If I don't say this, Jimin will hit me." This could have well been a joke, but with all the new insight into the true character of AOA's former leader, fans are not too sure. Mina coming forward with this sheds light on a different aspect of mistreatment in the industry, where instead of mistreatment from the entertainment company to the whole group, it's between the members within the group. Mina is quite brave for coming forth with this. As for AOA, I don't really see how they could possibly bounce back. Not only have they lost another member, but they've also lost a leader. I want to know how much blame you think should be put on the other members, because on one hand, they could have all banded together and stood up for Mina, but also on the other hand, I understand the fear of not wanting to disappoint your leader at a young age, especially when you've just debuted, as well as the fear of possibly being attacked for doing so. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Don't forget to like if you like this video and subscribe for more videos like this.